Greetings! May the Seven circle you and keep you safe. Ah, it's a wonderful day, wouldn't you agree? And with good reason, too. Oh, for isn't it wonderful to look upon so simple a meal, bread and cheese, and be positively overcome with appetite? Why, only a few days ago, I was writhing in pain, having eaten from that rotten fish they dare sell on the market. But then a fellow pilgrim passed by, laid his hands upon my feverish skin, and just like that, I was cured. Truly, it was a miracle. Alas, I cannot say who he was, but I can say what he was. A holy man. A stranger showing kindness to strangers, exemplifying the teachings of the divine. Fills my heart with gladness to know that there are still folks like him to be found, now that our Lord Alexander has fallen. May the Seven keep him. May they keep all of us.
A so-called holy man who can heal with magic. I wonder if he might be one of the sorcerers Meister Siva wants me to find.
Blessings of the divine upon you, my lady. My husband and I were just sitting down for a picnic under the sun. We haven't much to offer, but would you care to join us? Nonsense, come. Sit. We are pilgrims, and pilgrims share no matter what. There you go, all cozy. So tell me, are you heading to Arcs like we are? Nicholas and I wouldn't miss Lucian's day for the world. Oh, but you must visit the cathedral, please do. The more pilgrims pray for his return, the sooner Lucian will walk among us once more, just like the prophecy says. So come, let us break bread and strengthen ourselves for the journey. We have a sacred duty ahead of us in the holy city of Arcs.
You eat, drink, and have a good time of it with Glory and her husband Nicholas. After the meal, you express your thanks and take your leave. Let it be known henceforth to each and every subject here and everywhere that, in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, slain with malice and injustice by foul sorcerers, as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the aid and abettancy of the treacherous dwarven kingdom, the divine order of Lucian is now led by his son's most trusted intimate and advisor, Dallis, Hammer of the Divine, Saviour of the Sorcerers, and new deliverer of the peoples of Rivellon. The Hammer shall take counsel from her most trusted advisors. Hail to the Hammer, 7 times blessed.
Dallis is the queen bee now, and all those little magisters drone to her heart's content.
I'm sure we can give those drones a new song to sing. Well now, how's my favorite god woken?
His eyes glitter as he stands tall to tell the story, hands waving expressively. You can see it's a story he's used to telling, one he enjoys weaving for an audience.
So, underneath the tavern in Driftwood, there's a place I feel right at home. A delightful little hive of scum and villainy. A few months back, I was relaxing down there after a job. Just a hint of Divinity. You know, a hint. All of a sudden, a tiger prowls in. I jump up, but everyone else is just ignoring it. And then he picks up my scent. His eyes turn blue, and he leaps to pounce on me. A fury of claws and teeth. I flip the table and start scrambling for my crossbow. Nowhere to be found, and by now, the tiger's right on top of my eyeballs. So I do the only thing I can think of. I summon Afrit, my soul wolf. And now everybody reacts. Screaming, scrambling around, pelting for the stairs. Drinks flying everywhere. And that pesky tiger? Nowhere to be seen. Turns out it was Divinity messing with me. Stronger stuff than I'm used to. Also turns out some people don't appreciate spectral wolves tearing up the place. So some people called magisters on me. Well, it's guarded by a grouchy-seeming dwarf named of Papa Thrash. But he's a real sweetheart once you get to know him. I love that password of his. Open minds and closed fists. I'm from the deserts of Mezd originally. My parents died when I was very young, no more than a cub. They were spice merchants, killed by bandits as we were trading on the forest roads. The elves nearby saved me afterwards. They found me hiding in a wagon and they took me in.
Ifan bites his lip, hard enough to draw blood.
They were my home until I was old enough to join the Order. Mother Melody always said I'd have a hard life. She saw it as fact, since I was born under the waxing moon. Ah, a mysterious one. Cool and analytical. I've been striving my whole life to prove mine wrong. To, zero success. So far. For sure. Always carry a snack.
Ifan reaches into his tunic pocket and pulls out a strip of dried raw meat. He takes a tiny bite and offers the rest to you.
Now, what else do I have to share?
Ifan rummages around the roll-down tops of his boots and grins in victory as he plucks a single mushroom from the folds.
Aha.
He hands you the mushroom with great ceremony, bowing as he holds it aloft.
Oh, I wouldn't. This one's not for eating. But I'll tell you, it comes in handy if you're dining with someone who really needs to lose their life. And soon.
Ifan smiles and looks around before reaching high into his sleeve and pulling out a tiny herbal wrap. The unmistakable scent of Divinity hits you as he holds it out to you.
The last weapon in the lone wolf arsenal. You know, for after the toughest jobs.
He winks and tips his fingers to his temples before loping off.
Bellwether, I need those reports down.
Right away.
Well, hello, stranger. Interested in Driftwood's fine...
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
It's free to look. Just don't touch nothing unless you're gonna make my purse jingle. Fair travels, friend.
Keeping it together, Bree? I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hello, missus.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister.
No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here. We're waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon.
He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy.
For Joy?
That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's going to find his mum and bring her back. Cool. How did you know that?
Missus, have you seen our friend Joe?
Their innocence in a world with precious little innocence left. Let's leave them that way.
The truth hurts, but they'll get over it.
Kids are resilient. Tell them the truth.
The horror grows on their little faces.
No, that's a horrible thing to say. I bet it wasn't Joe. I bet it was someone else's leg in that icky shark.
She bursts into tears, then looks from you to her and back again, then starts crying too. After a moment, the crying subsides. Ben and Harriet snuggle into you.
So where's Joe? It's okay to say you don't know. You don't have to make stuff up.
I think we should go home. Come on, Ben. Thanks, lady. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Lady Missus.
They skip away, still children, but now, somehow, older than before.
On the double.
I've enough strife trying to earn a bit of coin without having the likes of you eyeballing me as well.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo.
Raspy gusts of breath wheeze from the creature's badly mangled mouth as he lifts and drops cargo with automaton-like precision.
You two, Julian, show 'em how it's done,
Sack.
man.
These sacks weigh like lead. It's a disgrace I have to toil like this.
Don't let up now.
I'm a magister,
Keep
not a
hauling
damn
that
silent
cargo.
monk.
That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You two, Julian, show 'em how it's done, man. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath. I'll...
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? Respect. Try rancor.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss.
His sliver of a smile could rival a rattler's.
I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. A would-be magister has to prove her killer instinct, after all. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. I'm quite capable. But as you can see, I'm also preparing to set sail. And who will deal with them when I'm gone? Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Did I give you the illusion you have a choice? How absurd. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up?
For a few moments, his hand hangs motionless in the air, then is withdrawn with a swift and determined finality.
Hard feelings it is. The illusion of choice, remember? I'll remember. The time has come, my stitched-lit lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Bah! 7 curses upon that ship.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You! The damn recruit! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it.
You'd swear the shark was smiling at you.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking.
We need those reports, Captain.
Where is it? Where is it? Madam? Please, have you seen a small burlap pouch lying about? Blast! It's gone for good, I fear.
She rubs a hand over her smooth head, then suddenly looks up at you. Her great greenish-gold eyes are alive with worry.
There isn't any chance you could spare a moment to help me look, could you? I wouldn't dare ask it if it weren't terribly important.
Tears star her eyelashes, and she begins to weep. She takes your hand.
I know. What a crybaby I am. It's just... you're so kind. It's been a difficult day. The pouch. I really must find it back, or my master will flay me alive. It had quite a sum inside it. Magister Raymond. He bade me take the coins to purchase supplies for his journey, but I dropped it along the way. He's sure to think I stole it.
She tilts her head back and blinks back tears.
I'd never do such a thing. Never. You're... Gods, you're so terribly kind. But I couldn't accept such lavish charity. It's so unbecoming. I don't know what to say. Your kindness is overwhelming.
She accepts the coins, letting her hand linger over yours for the briefest of moments.
You don't know what this means to me. I'll send word to Magister Raymond right away. He should send for me soon enough. Thank you. Thank you.
I have to stop you disappear. My career is at stake.
Magister's dropping left and right. Can't say I'm shedding any tears.
Startled, the guard leaps backwards and reaches for her weapon. She locks eyes with yours before releasing the grip on her blade's hilt.
Surprise me like that! Oh, I could have sliced your neck clean open.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seekers! Culprits still at large!
Rustling leaves no longer remind me of autumn. A songbird's call no longer makes me whistle. Now, they might signal a Voidwoken's attack. Have you ever faced a Voidwoken? Then you count your blessings. If you see one, do not fire an arrow into it. Do not run it through with a sword. Do not pierce it with a dagger. Just run.
She remains in place, as rigid as stone.
Is there more, elf? Speak up!
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
They don't come visit your tongue. You will.
If any buck rabbit asks, you didn't see me. Got it?
My career is at stake.
Hell with them. I need those reports down.
Right away.
Play with the others.
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my...
My inkwell is
Course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some
Right
money.
away.
Play with the others.
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
But Ma.
You doing okay, boy of mine?
Ma.
I'm watching you, stranger.
You're a hero.
Surrounded by incompetence. I deserve a better posting.
That's Magister business. Keep your nose out of it.
Go play with the others.
Hell with them. I need those reports down.
Chickadee.
Of
You're
course,
not
sir.
leaving my sight
Right
for a
away.
while longer yet.
But Ma.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want, elf? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation.
Come on. Can't we go play with the others? Come on. Can't we go play with the others?
No can do, chickadee.
I didn't ask for your opinion, savage. I asked why you're here. Now answer me! Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. He's a deviant named Higba, a grubby little tinkerer with a criminal mind. Some of my magisters have vanished from Driftwood lately, and I'm certain that fiend is responsible. The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? There might even be a reward in it for you. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time then.
Well, there's a fun face. Byron and I are patching up before we head home. Hope the Order folks are treating you all right. You stay out of trouble now.
Right away.
Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, Chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
But Ma...
Passionless, unblinking eyes regard you from beneath the silent watcher's cowl.
Come on, let's keep moving.
The Magister turns to you with a scowl. He already seemed immensely displeased, and your interjection isn't improving his mood.
What?
The Magister glances at you like you're something he just stepped in.
Keep out of it! I'll halve you with my sword if you don't mind your own business. That's what I want to know. Stuck here with those silent things. The new leadership ought to learn to respect its veterans. We're the ones who uphold the rule of law, not white ponches like Raymond and Jonathan.
A sly smile creeps across the Magister's face.
Aye, and sooner than you might think, if the rumours are true. Let's just say, there's other places where I'd be appreciated more than I am in Driftwood.
The Magister loses some of his bluster.
I ain't saying. It's a secret for loyal members of the Divine Order only. Who asked you? You're not even supposed to be down here. Keep out of it.
I've spotted something.
Hold it right. Drat!
I yield to none.
A painful death, trapped and defenseless. Nice.
as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it. Buying or selling?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget.
Justinian executes 24 noblemen for insubordination.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
Hear ye!
I'm all right.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seegers! Culprit still at large!
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
I don't come visit your ton. Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire! Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seegers! Culprit still at large!
Tell me, have you heard any
Over
news?
here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped
Nothing
in a vat
good.
of vinegar.
The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
I don't come visit your ton.
Yes, of course.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Buying or selling?
Keeping it together, Bree.
Queen Justinia
You're safe among friends. Never forget.
for insubordination!
safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Buying or selling?
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree. You're safe among friends. Never Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
I don't come visit your ton. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Bishop Alexander was slain by Caesar. How quick still at large.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You doing opening for him, mine?
Aw,
I'll stay out of there, thanks. What's this? I found something.
Well, ain't you a tall drink of tallness? What can I do for you, honey? Sure, why not? Not all of them hatch, you know. And between you and me, honey, I don't mind the taste of an omelette now and again.
She fluffs them and coos.
You're so very, very sweet to notice, honey. Ain't easy keeping him so nice in a dusty town like this. But I do take pride in him. Go on and scoot then, honey.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Heckish! Is that a joke of some kind? If it is, it's only a little funny. But you tried, and that's something. So here, take an egg for your effort. Oh, you want a list? I've got eggs to lay, grass to tidy, grain to clear, and magister boots to peck. Now if you'll excuse me.
The cat stares up at you. Its midnight black pupils are too prominent for you to discern the colour of its glazed eyes.
8 lives already gone, but I'd gladly lose the last if you can throw me a fish. One of those smelly kind. But I need 'em. So yummy. They taste like shadows and spoiled cream and turn the air dark. It feels so beautiful against my fur, like being caressed by black cotton.
The cat eats the fish in a few seconds' time, then looks up at you and gives a groggy meow.
Maybe I should stick to the good stuff for a while. But I'll miss the shadow.
He pokes his nose at your map, leaving a wet spot.
I think you'll find something interesting there. Found me some goodies during life number 6. Now, if you don't mind, I need a bit of me time. I'm approaching this the wrong way. I must be. This is going nowhere. That's no good. That's no good.
An elf in tattered red robes shifts through pages of handwritten notes spread across the table.
So many suspects. So many potential culprits. I need to narrow down the list. Think, you damn elf, think.
A floorboard creaks beneath your foot. The elf leaps around abruptly.
What are you doing, elf? Trying to get a drop on me? Sneak up and slit my throat? I'm no elf. Don't you call me that. Seven, preserve me. Are you entirely ignorant, elf? My own Magister comrades are vanishing from right here in Driftwood. Whoever's behind it must be stopped. If you hear anything, come to me. I was removed from their ranks due to my elven blood. I'll continue to serve, though. I won't stand to see my comrades taken by some vile traitor. 3 Magisters vanished so far, all within Driftwood. My comrades believe some tinkerer named Higba is behind it all, but they're wrong. I'm certain of it. He might be a greedy little junk peddler and a sorcerer to boot, but hardly capable of seizing Magisters. That's what I'm intent on finding out. This tavern is full of scum and degenerates. The true culprit could easily conceal themselves amongst them. I have to keep investigating, keep the pressure up. The culprit will make a mistake eventually. If you see anything suspicious, let me know. What? I serve with utter loyalty now and forever. Now get away from me and don't come back unless you have information I can use. Ah, they were right about me. I'm just another useless elf.
Driftwood, home of the Black Bull Tavern.
A valiant warrior against the void. Taken too early, all hope destroyed. The past thus ended, the conclusion of a noble bloodline.
Right about me. I'm just another...
Who gains the title Most Divine? We wait, we wander and wonder, seeking
Pretty
sight.
good, ain't he? Bet he'd even write a poem for you if you sidled up all nice like.
He fixes you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your cloth, the weight of your bag. A moment passes. Then a smile creases his face. A smile carefully constructed to look friendly and authentic. A smile that doesn't reach his eyes.
Greetings, stranger. Looking to ease the pain of a decaying world? You're in the right place. Beers are ordered at the bar, but can I interest you in a nourishing bowl of stew? It's a dull choice, but I suppose you want what you want. Stew is a special order from the kitchen, on account of you being an elf. Cook's orders. If you have a problem with that, you can talk to her yourself. Predictably, she's in the kitchen.
What will I do without the fruit?
I'm telling you, it's fine.
voice, that glorious visage. You are fair, elf, but Barstan's allure is unsurpassed. Such a face could only be sculpted by the hands of a god.
You have interrupted my newest masterpiece!
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own saliva. He then returns to his poem, but his voice cracks mid-verse.
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to write something new. Wait! You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an offer of a lifetime. Magnificent! But if I am to write a first-rate work, you must face some difficult questions. Are you prepared to answer?
He stares at you for a few torturing moments.
My first question. Are you hungry? Actually, that's not quite what I mean. But you eat flesh. When you look at me, what do you see? A dwarf? A bard? A meal?
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
An elf craves those memories like an addict craves Drudanay. A pity that you turn to the dead for emotional sustenance. Would you not rather form bonds with the living? I suspect you collect memories not for knowledge, but from fear. Your homeland fell to the ravages of war and death fog. You worry of more loss, more loneliness. Tell me, elf, are you afraid?
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen now, and bask in its resounding refrain. A hunger gnaws at elves, a driving lust. They hunt and wander, seeking rotting flesh. First a taste, a morsel, then the meal. Yet, never sated, start their search afresh. A wealth of knowledge, not of shiny trinkets. They know the past, so future may be bright. But threatened by the void, they rise together, chasing off the darkness with the light.
I don't think you know even a smaller good if it bit you on the arse. Arguing with Mac is like giving medicine to the dead. He's as stubborn as a corpse and smells the part to boot. No wonder Papa Thrash gives him the stink any time he tries to go downstairs.
First a taste, a morsel, then the meal.
Another sorcerer on the loose. I knew they should have cut off the Meister's head and burned the rest. Gotta make sure it don't grow back.
Stew is good.
They know the
if you
past.
think it is.
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm. She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that's...
Her eyes go wide with panic.
The fog came over them all of them, and they never came out. Everyone I know is dead. Excuse me.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
The soft lines of her face fold into a warm smile. She sets the glass on the counter and pours you a generous portion of an amber liquor.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. Rare for an elf. But all the more impressive. You and my Niles might even get along. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. A fine physician indeed. That's my boy. Some say all a growing child needs is food and sunshine. I say abstinence and chastity will grow him finer than either one of those. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niles. Here, have a little something to eat. Niles' favourite, you know. No one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste. Well, if he ever comes back home for a visit, I'm sure he'd be happy to show you. Anyhow, what can I get you? And where did you hear that? That disgraced elf who's been loitering outside my establishment since he was rightfully removed from his position. If I were you, I wouldn't pay any heed to the ramblings of that fool.
He gives you the slightest nod of acknowledgement.
What'll it be?
Ah, finally. Your colleague over there is absolutely useless. I'll have a bowl of the house stew, if you please. Ah, you truly are my saviour.
He inhales deeply over the stew, savouring the scent of it, then scoops up a large chunk of meat and swallows it down, seemingly without chewing. He pauses in anticipation, then frowns.
Rather disappointing, isn't it? After all I've been through, yet another tragedy.
He lowers his gaze, then looks up at you expectantly. His lip trembles dramatically.
It's my mentor. My dear mentor. He was killed by those void beasts. I told him we ought not to travel in the hills, but would he listen? No. Now here I sit, my closest companion gone, our precious cargo worth more than Lucian's right ring, lost to the beast-infested wilds. And on top of it all, the stew was a disappointment. Ah, then perhaps my luck has changed. Yes, perhaps this awful business might soon be behind me. Tell me, how are you with, well, Void Woken? Ah, terrific news. Then what I ask will be little more than a trifling. My mentor, Liam, and I were hauling in a goodly number of fine wares from the Southlands when we crossed paths with a great brute of a Void Woken. It made short work of Liam, may the gods rest his soul. I managed to escape, but my precious cargo was left behind. We'd invested our entire livelihood in those wares. I'll do anything to get them back. Wealth of knowledge, not of shiny trinkets. They know the past, so future may be bright.
Very, very well, that's how. That cargo is worth more than a pretty penny, and I'll owe its retrieval to you and you alone. Now, give me your map. I'll show you just where to look. I doubt those beasts out there have any use of such a cargo. I can't tell you how thoroughly you've made my day. Good luck.
They hunt and wander, seeking rotting flesh.
I'll take your order if you're polite. No.
She nods an uninterested greeting.
Here for the fight? This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one? Pity. Well, later then.
The cook acknowledges you with a graceful little bow, but keeps her eyes on you the whole time.
There's nothing here for you, sister. You should go back out front, where it's safe.
There are other elves, ones who aren't working and have time to talk.
The briefest hint of disdain flickers across the cook's taciturn features.
Some wouldn't see any luck here. Some would be ashamed to serve those who mock our own customs, who defile our ancestor trees, and sow nothing but death.
Some would. But I must work.
Cinnamon, not nutmeg. There's a food shortage in these parts. Fresh meat can be hard to come by. Liberal seasoning helps disguise all sorts of sins. Now please, I must return to my work.
Here, my special stew just for my elven kin. Take it with my compliments.
Now I really must get back to my work.
What's this? I found something. This ring, it bears the Magister's seal. And there's blood on it.
You want an engraved invitation every time? You know the way in.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
Who rings the bell? The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying... And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
Who rings the bell?
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
The town is poor, but this room is
You're willing
rich.
to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass. The ship is in the locker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows, and all are drowned but me. And yet, can you hear? The bell rings on. The bell haunts me yet, and it would drive me mad. Perhaps I am already mad. But I swear I hear the bells. Please, make it stop.
She buries her head in her hands and cries.
Make it stop.
A ghost...
You've got to pick who you can trust.
Hear me? You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
Take the wheel, Captain.
And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka. Take the wheel, Captain. Take the wheel. Take the wheel, Captain. Take the wheel.
The ghostly seaman rings his bell, his hate directed at his captain. He turns to you.
Spoke to the lady, Captain, didn't you? I seen you, elf, cozying up. Are you with her, or sail you with us?
For one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer.
I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout, and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. There's no lighthouse here. Rocks ahead! Ha 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 ha!
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
His lip curls over his blackened teeth, and with his smile, you know you've lost the argument. He turns back towards the sea captain, ringing the bell with renewed urgency.
Rocks ahead, Captain! Avast! Hard a port! Ha! Rocks ahead! Do you hear me, Captain? I'm ringing the bell! Turn the ship for it's too late!
The bell rings on.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a
A
lizard?
ghostly seaman stares.
Are you her, woman, or sail you with us?
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout and I'm ringing the bell. And I'm on duty here. There are rocks ahead and the captain must know it.
He blinks once, twice. A single salty tear drips from one ghostly eye. The bell falls silent. He raises a finger to his temple in salute and fades away.
Gets a sense of Fort Joy.
It's ringing, but the infernal bell is gone.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
She babbles breathlessly on, barely aware you're there.
My ears are still a-ringing. And I have you to thank for it? Then thank you, I surely do. That accursed bell lies with the Peacemaker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows. My compass lies there too.
You got that right, Hilga. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be...
Let me mark your chart. But you be warned. Stay off the wreck itself. Let her lie as a monument to her dead crew, and as testament to my mistake.
Then you're an idiot.
The compass surely lies on the bottom, near where the ship was wrecked. Take it with my blessing, if you can find it. My sailing days are done.
She goes white as the proverbial ghost.
You've got no call to go looking for no cargo. Far as anyone's concerned, we sailed with an empty hold, and if there's anything left to salvage, you leave it where it is.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
Heed me. Leave the cargo of the Peacemaker alone.
She turns away. Conversation over.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You've got a pick who you can trust.
She stares off into the...
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? And I'm saying you're an idiot. You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander and get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilga.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. You've got a pick who you can trust. Curiosity
You got that
kills
right,
the cat,
Hilga.
or gets
You
it
got
sent
that
to
right.
Fort Joy. And I'm saying you can trust me. You're willing I to can see a risk sorcerer Fort from Joy a for mile one away. night with a lizard? And you can't be too careful. Then you're an idiot.
If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us. You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilga.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
Gotta pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying...
Curiosity kills the cat.
I can see
or
a
gets it
sorcerer
sent
from
to
a
Fort
mile
Joy.
away. And you can't be too...
This is going nowhere. No rest. No rest until the killer is found.
Wealth of knowledge, not of tragedy. They know the past and the future. Right?
Useless. Bloody useless. Might as well have rotted in the death vault. What's even the point? I'm approaching this the wrong way. I must be.
They hunt and wander, seeking rotting flesh. First a taste, then
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about like this. I'm merely catering to our sensibilities. A stew of animal meats would be an assault on our senses, enough to turn the stomach. Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about.
She grabs the ring and glares at you, like a rattlesnake observing its next live meal.
You should have just kept out of this.
She gives you a defiant look.
Magisters are a blight. They deserve worse than the death I gave them. I wouldn't taint the earth with their carcasses. Better that they vanish into unsuspecting stomachs.
My secret would be far safer if I knew you could never talk again.
There's a carving knife in her hand. You never even saw her pick it up.
I have more work to do, more magisters to rid the world of. I can't leave any loose threads.
Stew is good, if you think it'll be.
Not right now.
She gives you a long look, unsure, then decides.
You should have just forgotten all about this. Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about.
Not right now. You're good with the magisters caging anyone up that looks at the fire.